So then, we need to follow Allah's order in the Quran. And if we don't, the fitna and the fasad will continue. And it will grow greater and greater. Fasad kabir. So who should make friendship and alliance with each other against that alliance of the kuffar? When we who follow Nabi Muhammad ﷺ look around the world to see where are there amongst mankind those who are following Musa alayhi salam, following Isa alayhi salam, following Ibrahim alayhi salam. Even though some of their beliefs might be corrupted, yet they have their hearts in the right place. They're making a sincere effort to follow the deen which has come. They live lives of purity. They're not a wicked people. They don't enact legislation for their countries that a man can marry another man and get a marriage certificate. No. And they are not oppressors. Rather, they are oppressed. Where are they? With whom we shall make friendship and alliance? Does the Quran answer that question? Yes, it does. It says, for example, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, and I'm repeating this, quoting this ayah of the Quran maybe 25,000 times already, so kindly forgive me if I have to quote it one more time. لَتَجِدَنَّ أَشَدَّ النَّاسِ عَدَاوَةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودِ. You will most certainly find at the time when the Quran was revealed and in time to come, that those who have the greatest hatred for you would be Jews. وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. And those who are in shirk. This happened, this came to pass at the time when the Quran was revealed. And this is now taking place once again in the historical process. For the Jews who created the state of Israel, not all Jews, have now become the most hostile of all people to us, waging war on us. And so too that civilization built on shirk and kufr, which is allied with the state of Israel. But the verse goes on to say, وَلَتَجِدَنَّ أَقْرَبَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودِ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّا نَصَارَى. And you'll most certainly find, at the time when the Quran was revealed and in time to come, that those who will be closest in love and affection for you, the Ummah of Muhammad would be people who proclaimed, we are Christians. And then the verse goes on to give us the characteristics of this Christian people. Number one, that they have the institution of the priesthood. The priest is held in esteem and honor and respect. And they have the institution of monasticism. The monasteries are still there. The monastic way of life is still preserved. وَإِنَّهُمْ لَا يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. And they are not an arrogant people. They don't want to rule the world. Where are those Christians? All of us can search and easily find those Christians, except those who are taking weapons and money, USD from Santa Claus, to wage their bogus jihad. Yes, those are the only ones who can't see them. We can see that the Orthodox Christian world has said this business about a man marrying another man and getting a marriage certificate, it came out of a garbage bin and we throw it back into the garbage bin. That's the Orthodox Christian world. Does that Orthodox Christian world still have the institution of priesthood? Do they hold their priest in esteem and respect? Yes, they do. Do they still have the institution of monasticism? The monasteries, the monastic way of life? Yes, they do. Over here on this side of the world, the monastery is now McDonald's hamburgers and Pizza Hut, bingo hall. but they still have the monastic way of life. So it looks as though Allah is speaking about them. And they are not an arrogant people. They don't want to rule the world. These here want to rule the world by the hook or by the crook. And because Russia does not want to submit to them, and China does not want to submit to them, now they're preparing to wage war on Russia and China. They have this mysterious obsession, this virus running through their veins, that we are the chosen of the Lord God and we must rule the world. That's arrogance. And arrogance came from Iblis. It didn't come from Allah. And it didn't come from Ibrahim alayhi salam. So if these are the people who will be closest in love and affection for us, and they say we are Christians, they're not secularized, the primary identity is their faith. With whom should we make alliance? The answer? You should make an alliance with those who are closest in love and affection for you. That's the answer. The Orthodox Christian world, therefore, is our natural ally as we attempt to bring an end to 500 years of oppression and bloodshed and arrogance in the world that came from modern Western civilization. What does the Quran say further on the subject of Rome? For that Orthodox Christian world is referred to in the Quran as Rome. Okay, let's give you the proof. There is a whole surah of the Quran entitled Surah to Rome. And in this surah Allah speaks and He says, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ أَلِفْ لَامْ مِيم. And in my book entitled Methodology for the Study of the Quran, I have spoken on these letters of the alphabet, the Muqatta'at. غُلِبَتِ الرُّومِ. Rome has been defeated. في أدنى الأرض. In a land close by to this land where the Quran has been revealed. That's right. So you could be talking about Chicago or Alaska. No. Close by meaning close to this land in which the Quran was revealed. So if you want to look for Rome, you don't look for Rome in Bombay. You look for Rome in a land close by, where Rome was defeated. That should not be difficult. وَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ غَلَبِهِمْ سَيَغْلِبُونَ. But then Allah comes forward. Allah declares, rather the Quran comes forward to declare, prophetically so, meaning telling you what is going to happen in the future. If it doesn't happen, then the Quran is false. The Quran says, وَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ غَلَبِهِمْ سَيَغْلِبُونَ. And the kuffar of Makkah are listening, because they are supporting the other side which defeated Rome. And they were very happy that Rome was defeated, because they identified Rome as our natural allies. Because Rome had a book which came from the one God, and we have a book. And both books talk about Moses and about Abraham. So the kuffar of Makkah recognized that we were allies of each other, we were cousins of each other, Rome and us. So Allah sends down a message to tell the kuffar of Makkah, the mushrikun, وَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ غَلَبِهِمْ سَيَغْلِبُونَ, that after this defeat, they will soon turn the tide and they will be victorious. So it better happen, otherwise the Quran will be false. Did it happen? Oh yes. While you were taking your weapons and your money from CIA to wage your bogus jihad, it did happen. And Rome was victorious. في بضع سنين, in just a few years' time it happened. In just a few years' time, this did happen after the revelation of the Quran. And then Allah went on to say something more about Rome, and about Rome being victorious. Lillahi al-amr min qabl wa min ba'd. Rome has two victories ordained by Allah. Allah's command that Rome will have two victories, not one. Lillahi al-amr min qabl wa min ba'd. The first victory just took place, and there's a second victory to come. Lillahi al-amr min qabl wa min ba'd. And on that day when Rome is victorious, وَيَوْمَئِذٍ يَفْرَحُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ, the believers who follow this Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, we will celebrate the victory of a Christian people. But those who have nothing in their hearts for Christians except bigoted hatred, the only good Christian is a dead Christian. Give me a chance, I want to go to Syria and kill them all. You have only a passing acquaintance with the Book of Allah. And on that day, when Allah takes the veils from off your eyes, and you're able to see the truth, you're going to blame your scholars in Saudi Arabia who misguided you. But it'll be too late at that time. Listen to the Quran and see whether the Quran is being explained accurately. And if it is, then turn and submit to the Quran before it's too late. This is my message to the Muslims of Britain.